My name is Christina Ellsworth. Let's discuss a case regarding FDA liability concerns. When listeria is found in a batch of product, Alex, one of the company's owners and the inventor of the product, wants to recall all the product just to be safe, while Michael, the CFO, only wants to recall the batch that was contaminated for fear of loss of shelf advantage and market share. Also, a total recall would create a loss for that quarter, which would affect terms of an upcoming loan renewal and a future IPO, initial public offering. In addition to the recall, the FDA identified process problems that need to be fixed. Michael says his cost-benefits analysis showed it would be less expensive to just pay the FDA fine than actually fix the problems. Alex is more concerned about their reputation and maintaining a high-quality product. Gregory, the other company owner who is over operations, was mostly silent about the issues. When Alex and Gregory started the company and hired Michael as CFO, they left meeting the FDA requirements to Michael as part of Michael's desire to contain costs and increase profit margins. Now, Alex needs to address Michael's arguments and Gregory's silence on these serious matters at an upcoming meeting. Based on the giving voice to values technique, what should Alex do? First, Alex needs to think about the main arguments to counter, or reasons and rationalizations to address. Michael will argue that a total recall will hurt the company and the IPO. Michael will say the amount of the fine is immaterial compared to costs of fixing the process. Michael may argue that he did what was needed to contain costs and improve the company. In his defense, Michael may say that Gregory knew what Michael was doing, or in Gregory's defense, Gregory might say he didn't realize what Michael was doing. After that, Alex needs to determine what is at stake for the key parties, including those who disagree with him. Well, first, Alex's primary concern is for the reputation of the company and maintaining a high standard of quality for the product. Michael may be worried about his reputation as CFO if the company loses money, has bad bank loan terms, or cannot go public. He should be worried about how this situation could affect his CPA license. Gregory also wants to take the company public and may be worried about the company failing. Gregory may be embarrassed to fix the system because it would reflect negatively upon his operations management. Paying the fine and not making changes might cover that up. Other key parties include the customers who could get poisoned by the product, future investors who will want a strong, profitable company. How would a long history of FDA fines look to investors? Finally, the company itself benefits from having good loan terms and rates and being profitable. Next, Alex needs to think about what levers he can use to influence those who disagree with him. Alex can try to convince Michael that an instance of poisoning and a history of FDA fines endanger the IPO, but a commitment to quality, including a total recall of product, means a better reputation, which means a better IPO. Alex also needs to remind Michael of his ethical obligations as a CPA. Alex can use the leverage that Michael's job and CPA license could be in danger if he unethically chooses to risk public health by paying fines instead of correcting a dangerous problem. For Gregory, Alex can try to convince him that contaminated product and FDA fines are a reflection on Gregory's performance as the manager of operations. Gregory has risk if the company fails because of a case of poisoning or repeated FDA fines. Now it's time for Alex to determine his most powerful and persuasive response to the reasons and rationalizations he needs to address. He needs to think about to whom, when, and in what context his arguments should be made. I believe Alex should meet with Gregory before their meeting with Michael and explain that Michael is working outside his authority as CFO and is doing Gregory's job and making big mistakes. Any FDA fines would negatively reflect on Gregory's ability to manage operations. As a partner, if the company fails, Gregory has risk. Alex and Gregory should then present a united front in their meeting with Michael. Alex should explain that a case of poisoning and FDA fines have negative long-term effects on the company and the IPO. Alex should remind Michael that as a CPA he has made a commitment to act ethically. Putting public health in danger to save the company some money is not ethical. On the positive side, if they do the total recall and fix the problems, it may take the company longer to get better loan rates, but the IPO will be better in the long run with a better product. As Alex considers what arguments Michael and Gregory may present and plans in advance how to counter those arguments, Alex will be better able to correct mistakes that have been made and reach an ethical conclusion that will be best for everyone in the long run.